Now, I reckon everyone grew up eating chocolate crackles at birthday parties, so today I'm going to put my spin on a special birthday cake that I can guarantee you the kids are going to love because it's so much fun. I'm going to call it my Crackle and Pop ice cream cake. So the first thing I'm going to do is just melt my Copha. So I've got 250 grams of Copha and I'm going to plop it straight into my saucepan and that's going to melt. And then I'm going to make a chocolate crackle base. So I've got 4 cups of rice bubbles, 3 tablespoons of just your regular cocoa, straight in there, 1 cup of desiccated coconut, and 1 cup of icing sugar. Now, this recipe is a classic. It's gone back generations and generations, and it's really just so easy. It's just putting together the ingredients and then setting the chocolate crackles. But instead of putting them in the little patty pans, I'm going to set it in a cake tin. So it looks like the Copha has completely melted. Now I'm just going to pour this straight into the rice bubble mix. And it smells of childhood birthday parties. It really does. That sort of sweet coconut smell mixed with the chocolate. It takes me back. So give it a good mix. Good stir. Make sure all the rice bubbles are coated. And this is a really fun recipe, I think, to make with kids when it's a special treat like their birthday and they want something that's really, really yummy and sweet. Now, grab a cake tin. Now, I've lined it with baking paper. And I'm going to add in the chocolate crackles. So I'm going to create a little base. So you want to create quite a thick, solid foundation for the cake, so quite a thick base. And then once you've achieved that, sort of push the crackles onto the side so that you're sort of creating a little nest for the ice cream to sit in. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Now it's as simple as just placing this into the fridge for about 15 minutes to firm up. So the next thing to do is to make my topping. So I'm going to make what I'm going to call ice magic, made out of chocolate and Copha. So I need 2 tablespoons of Copha, roughly about that much, I reckon. Now this has to be melted, so I've got a double boiler. I'm going to pop it into this bowl and I'll just let the Copha melt. So I'm going to add in 100 grams of chocolate. Now I've got dark chocolate here, but of course you can use milk chocolate, which appeals to kids. And that Copha looks like it's melted, so I'm just going to add that in. Now, the chocolate mixes in really well with the Copha because the Copha is 99% coconut oil, so it melts just really, really easily. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is turn off the heat and I'm just going to let that cool a little bit before we use it as a topping. Okay. Just give it a good stir until all that chocolate's melted. Alrighty, that's looking good. Now I'm going to check on my crackle base. Now time for the ice cream. So I've got some slightly softened strawberry ice cream. Again, you can play around with flavours, whatever floats your boat. Just make sure it is a little bit softened because it will be quite hard to put in if it is actually really hard. Just scoop the ice cream onto the base of the chocolate crackles. Now I'm just hollowing out the middle just a little bit because I'm going to add in a little secret surprise. When you cut open the cake, there'll be some frozen berries in there. So just a few in the middle. Then I'm going to set the cake in the freezer for at least 4 hours to firm up before garnishing. So my ice cream cake has firmed up nicely. Now I should have mentioned before, make sure that you put the cake in a loose based cake tin because it will make life a lot easier because you can just pop it out like this. Now I'm going to put this straight onto the tray that I'm going to serve it on. So just slide it off gently. And now for the magic moment. We take away our baking paper, and I think it looks pretty cool. What do you think? Looks nice. Now this is the fun part. Now get the kids involved in this bit because I can guarantee you they'll love it, because when I was testing this recipe at home, I had some little kids helping me and they just thought that this was the funnest thing ever. So I've got my ice magic. Now I've called it ice magic because once I put it onto the cake, it's going to harden up. So just lightly drizzle it across the cake, however you like, as much as you like or as little as you like. Now, I can tell you that kids will actually decorate this way better than you as well, because they don't care what it looks like. They'll just chuck it on and they'll have fun and it will be amazing and there'll be stuff everywhere. So you can see that the ice magic is firming up. So after you've finished with that, I like to add some strawberries. So we've got strawberry ice cream, so I think some fresh strawberries on top look great. So just pop them on. Now, I've called this a crackle and pop cake for a reason, because we've got crackle on the base and we need pop on the top. So I have some popping candy. Now, this is really, really fun stuff. I'm going to pop it onto the cake, and then when you cut it up and pop it in your mouth, you're going to get the crunch from the crackle and the pop from this popping candy, because it just sort of pops all in your mouth and it's pretty fun. The kids will absolutely love it. So pop that on there. If you've got some extra crackle base, depending on the size of your cake tin, you can always sprinkle a little bit more just on the top of your cake, like that. And to be honest, I'm just going to put a little bit more of my ice magic on top, just over the strawberries, just a little bit, and you can hear it actually popping. Can you see that? They're actually popping off. Just a little bit more. Now, you can't tell me that the kids won't absolutely love this cake. It's heaps of fun. It's a different take on a traditional birthday cake, and it's really easy. You don't have to bake it. You just put it together, keep it in the freezer until you're ready to serve it, and the kids will absolutely love it.